Good evening, and thank you. St. Paul's is an important riding, one with a tradition of strong representation through Michael Bryant and Carolyn Bennett. This is a liberal riding that supports liberal values. It is also an incredibly diverse riding, from Bayview to Oakwood, one that has had a prominent voice in the McGuinty government. For these reasons, St. Paul's demands the strongest possible liberal candidate, one with the record, experience, reputation, and tenacity to lead us through the next election. One who will work tirelessly to ensure that your issues and your priorities are promoted and upheld. I'm here tonight to tell you that I am that candidate. I will represent you, as my track record demonstrates, with integrity, honesty, and vigor through the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. This is what you deserve, and this is what I will deliver. My friends, there are 3 candidates vying for your support this evening. All are credible. Only one will win. I stand before you asking for your trust and your confidence as your first choice candidate. As a medical doctor and humanitarian, I'm committed to public service and have spent the last 30 years working to strengthen communities in Ontario and around the world. I grew up in the farming community of Simcoe, Ontario, but have called Toronto home for 20 years. I have worked in some of the world's most violent flashpoints as the past president of War Child Canada, and I've seen what happens when governments fail, when democracy is eroded, and communities are threatened. Our right, as citizens of this great province, to an effective and transparent government is one that I have never and will never take for granted. I steadfastly believe in the values of universal health care, strong social safety nets, an outstanding public education system, the environment, renewable energy, Aboriginal rights, and economic enterprise, to name a few. These are the pillars that will make our community, St. Paul's, stronger. But to get there, you need and you deserve a candidate with real experience, one who has run against a high-profile Conservative candidate, as the Conservatives promised to do here in St. Paul's in the upcoming by-election, and increased the Liberal vote. One who has the experience to defend your interests at the highest level of government. I am that candidate. We live in cynical times. Politicians are often perceived as self-interested and self-important. Some of that criticism is fair. But I am not your traditional politician. I'm not standing before you in pursuit of power or name recognition. I am standing before you because I have been inside the political process. As Lloyd Axworthy's policy advisor when Lloyd was foreign minister, working tirelessly to rid the world of landmines and child soldiers. And I've been outside of the political process. As an activist and medical doctor, serving new immigrants and refugees to Ontario, many of whom live in this riding. And these experiences have taught me that real, sustainable change has to come from within, by listening to and acting on behalf of constituents, and then transformed into lasting politics. I chose to enter politics because I believe in the power of communities to make change, in the power of citizens working together to make this city and this province better. I've been disillusioned by politics. By politics for the sake of politics and the status quo. We must raise the bar. The global economic recession has created hardship and uncertainty that is far from over. There is no question that the road ahead will be difficult. And this community will be best served by the candidate with the political experience, financial experience, healthcare experience, corporate experience, and policy experience to see you through it. Fellow Liberals, I am that candidate. As a physician, I understand the challenges faced by our healthcare system. As an activist, I know how to mobilize inside and outside of politics to ensure that you are fairly represented at all levels of government. As a former ministerial advisor, I know how to make the bureaucracy work for you. As the former president and CFO of a Canadian charitable organization that generated more than $20 million for humanitarian programs around the world, I understand financial transparency and accountability and their importance. when managing public funds. As a father and a husband who has lived in some of the most insecure areas of this world, I know firsthand the value of reducing poverty and violence and the role that economic prosperity, business development, and education play in promoting a safe and sustainable future for all of us, for your family and for mine. So, who am I? And why should you vote for me over the other two candidates this evening? On paper, I'm a former Rhodes Scholar, a past advisor to one of the most activist ministers of our time, a medical doctor, a humanitarian, an officer of the Order of Canada, and a small-town boy who came to Toronto with a vision for building a better world, one community at a time. But my proudest accomplishments are as a father and as a husband, raising, together with my wife, Sam, a staff physician at Women's College Hospital, raising her son just a few blocks from here. And I understand the issues that matter to you. The economy, healthcare, education, the environment, jobs, infrastructure development, a stronger Toronto, and a better Ontario. Many of you have spoken to me about your needs from government, and I've listened. I will bring my wealth of experience to fight for this riding and for the issues that matter most to you today, tomorrow, and in the years ahead. Together, we will succeed. But it begins with one simple task. It begins when you choose me, Eric Hoskins, as your Liberal candidate for St. Paul's. I am the candidate with the knowledge, experience, reputation, and tenacity to ensure this riding is effectively represented at Queen's Park. You will be able to count on me if tonight I can count on you. I ask you to give me that opportunity by making me your Liberal candidate. Thank you.